Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Comfort Zone podcast, No Comfort Zone. Trying to avoid those comfort zones in your life so you can have a little bit of success. And I do that through daily motivation and inspiration to help you keep on track to get out of adversity and go towards your goals. So grateful to be here today. It's all about mindset for me today. It's all about the mindset. It's still gray. I'm headed into work now, and I want to tell you something. This pandemic, they just extended the stay-at-home rule, and whether it's affecting you or not, I can't imagine how it wouldn't be affecting you. But the truth and the reality is this. You can control your thoughts, you can control your actions, and you can control your attitude. Your attitude is definitely not just a feeling. Your attitude is 100% a choice. And if you want to have the winner's attitude, that winner's mindset, that closing mindset, then, we're on the same page. It's all about where you perceive you want to go and where you do want to go. And if you really truly believe 100% that today's going to suck and today nobody knows what's going on and there's so much uncertainty out there and you're going to be just caught up in it and be reactive all day today, man, good for you. Then just be the best reactive person, dead battery you possibly can. But if you plugged into this podcast, you know that this isn't the place to do that. This is not where you come to say, yeah, I'm going to go with the status quo. I'm going to keep rolling with it, because this is where you're going to make change. And the analogy, I don't know, it's analogy, metaphor, I'm not sure right now. I'm having one of those days. I'm thinking that if you start running, and if you have to run all day long, okay, you can get into a rhythm and you can find comfort in that rhythm, that pace, that tempo, because that momentum and that tempo with your breathing creates a rhythm. And when you get into a rhythm and you have that momentum going, what's going to end up happening is you're going to find success. It's going to be drawn to you, but you're going to have to get up and get out. You're going to have the right frame of mind. You're going to have to want to realize that I'm not just going to take a step. I'm going to take a whole bunch of them, but it starts with the first one, right? And I want you to understand that in life, if you sit back, here's something else. Here's a football thing for you. When I was a kid in football, I signed up for football, and I'll tell you what, the first year I absolutely hated it. The uniform was bulky, and I was already, I think, 1 year behind everybody, and I didn't understand the fundamentals. It took me a long time to understand the fundamentals. So, but one of the biggest things that I learned, and I learned this in the martial arts, I learned this in lifting, I learned it in sales, I learned it in my relationships, and this is what I really, really want you to get out of this podcast today. I think it changed from my message from momentum to just this. So I'll go through each of them. So in football, and for those of you that do play football, I think you'll understand what I mean, and I'll carry this through everything. What you need to do in football is, if you're worried about getting hit by somebody, if you're worried about, somebody's coming at you really fast and you kind of back up a little bit, you're going to get hurt. However, if you lean, if you lean into it, if you put take that inertia, right, from a standstill to inertia, what's going to end up happening is you have a chance to, one, make the play, but you have another chance to get out of the, if you're going to be tackled, but you also have a chance, you're better off, I believe, you're not going to get injured. I've experienced it in my first year of football. I seemed to get hurt all the time. I was always battered up and bruised, and it was brutal. But then I realized when I just said, screw it, I got so tired of getting hit that I started hitting. And all the other people on the team were like, whoa, where did you come from? And it wasn't until the next year I realized that, because my dad made me play. And I'm grateful for him, because I absolutely loved the game of football. I loved football. So it's one of those things is, you got to be tough to be in football for sure. I will tell you that you can play, football is a game that you play with your heart and your head. And if you play with your head and you think, okay, I'm gonna fade back a little bit and not get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. Same thing in the martial arts. If you have to be smart about it, you have to be strategic. What is it? Timing, coordination, power. I forgot what that is, but what you really need to do, you have to go in with a plan, and that plan is going to be, offensive, defensive, and you're going to have to really, you can't worry about getting hurt. Sure, you have to protect yourself, but you're really going to have to be proactive, and it's sometimes reactive, and it changes back and forth. Same thing like with running. If you force a run, there's a good chance you're going to get hurt. But if you just go with it and realize that I'm going to go run, I'm going to try to run at this pace, I'm going to listen to my body, but I'm going to keep moving forward. And I guess that's the lesson here, right? Keep moving forward. If you can do that, what's going to happen is you'll get that momentum. It's the same thing in sales. It's like, you make one phone call, it's really uncomfortable, it's awkward, make another phone call, then another phone call, another phone call. And at the end of the day, after you've been making phone call after phone call after phone call after phone call, it gets easier. And what you'll find is you'll end up getting into this pattern, this rhythm of you don't care if they answer, you want them to, but you don't care if they say no, you don't care. You go through the call. You see the end in mind. I'm going to make the call. I'm going to contact someone, and I'm going to keep going until they tell me no or they hang up, whatever it is for you, whatever you're trying to persuade them to do. And the same thing in a relationship. If you don't push in a relationship, in a healthy way to let the other person know what you want, and set up those boundaries as well. If you cower back, you're just going to be, like a wet noodle. You're not going to have any spine, and no one's interested in that. No, they want you to, anybody, even, your significant other, you want them to have backbone too, and, be able to be their own person, have their own opinion, and be able to confront each other. So I guess what I want to tell you is that today's success and motivation is this, that if you have adversity in your life right now, if you have some bad things that are happening to you and this pandemic's really got a hold of you, remember, you have a chance, you have a choice to think through this the right way. And the right way is to find a silver lining, if you will. Love that movie, by the way, Silver Linings Playbook. If you have an opportunity, find something good that's going on right now. Find that opportunity. There's opportunity everywhere if you open your mind to it. This could redefine the rest of your life. And if you have that adversity that's happening right now, just, take that one step, lean into it, and keep moving forward. Just keep going through the adversity, because at the end of the adversity is the better version of yourself. And like in these trying times, we look at it, especially in the industry that I'm in 30 years, there's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot of bad things that have happened, more great than bad. And these are the times that challenge us to say, how bad do you really want it? And I just know this, you have to keep moving forward. You have to pick up the phone. You have to communicate. You have to set up boundaries. You have to lean into it. You have to put the helmet on, put the mouthpiece in to tie all those together. Strap your shoes, and the hardest thing you're going to have to do is get to that starting line. And when that gun goes off in the race, you gotta move. You gotta start going forward. And then when you get into that rhythm, don't worry, you'll find the finish line. Just keep moving forward, right? And if you have goals like that finish line, if you want to get there, keep the next task in mind of what you need to do and stay focused on the little things. But truth be told, man, and I'm telling you this straight up, I love looking at the big picture, and I love looking at my real estate empire and my investment portfolio. They haven't happened yet. So what do I need to do? I need to look on the blueprint and go with the knowledge, the attitude, skills, and habits of what do I need to do from a knowledge point of view to go one step forward towards learning more about commercial real estate. I need to learn one thing more about investing. I need to learn one thing more about developing the right skills and also the habits to form those skills, to have the right attitude, to get the knowledge for me to become successful. And if I can do that every day, every time, without fail, no exception, I have no competition. I dominate my space. I dominate my market. I dominate, my relationship. And when it comes to it, who am I competing against? I'm competing against myself. And that's what I really want everybody to understand is like, this is an in your head game. And the no comfort zone's all about that. Don't get comfortable. Don't get status quo. Don't get complacent. Try to find the better version of yourself. And I'll tell you what, right now, the better version of yourself, the best version of yourself happens when you get outside of your comfort zone and you live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.